Here's a short video to run through the features of mapping here on Gwulo. To get to the map, look for the directory block. It's on every page. And if you come down under Places and Buildings and click on View Map, then in a couple of seconds up pops the map. First thing you probably want to do is be able to zoom in and zoom out so you can look at it in more detail. And we've got 4 different ways to do that. Up the top here on the left, the plus zooms you in and the minus zooms you out, and you can see it changing the zoom number here, zoom level. If your mouse has got a wheel, and this is what I usually use, you can point to an area you're interested in, push the wheel forward, and you'll zoom in, pull the wheel back, and you'll zoom out. You've also got the option just to click on one of these circles, and that'll expand to the area that it covers. Or if you're using a smartphone or a tablet, something like an iPad, you can use 2 fingers to spread and pinch to zoom in and out. Now the basic map here is quite small, so up at the top right corner we've got this View Full Screen, which makes things easier to use. So I'll click that, and you'll see up the top here Gwulo.com is now in full screen, and if you want to finish you can either press Escape or you can go back and click here. So that just takes you to and from full screen. Now below the full screen, what's the next thing we have? Its formal name is the layer control, but you can see if I move my mouse over it, it changes to show a little list, and it's where you say what you want to look at. So to start with, I'll click on markers, then that'll hide the markers, take away some of the clutter for the next section, and I'll zoom out a bit. There we go. Now the bottom section under markers, these are old maps. So this is a map of Hong Kong in 1845, and if you look over Central and Causeway Bay you can see the map appear. Here's a 1909 map, Central and the Peak, Central and Western. If you look in the bottom left corner of the map you'll see a Cheung Chau map pops up. And then the last one we have is Kowloon, 1947. So let's take a closer look at 1845, that's one of my favourites. We zoom in to Central, so you can see 1845, the main road is Queen's Road, but they're already starting to map out the roads here in Central. It can be a bit tricky at this point to work out what's there today. So that's when this little feature comes in handy. If I click here and slide it down, it turns the old map transparent. So I can look through it and see what's there today. So as an example, we've just been talking about this building on the website. It's called Green Bank, with Dent's Cottage over here. And if we slide down to make them transparent, we can see there on the site of today's Lan Kwai Fong, that sort of area. It's also good just to be able to see how the reclamations worked. In 1845, here's the shoreline just north of Queen's Road, and of course we've reclaimed out several times since then, so the sea's a lot further away. Okay, let's hide that map, bring back the markers, and we'll head up to north of Kowloon into the countryside. Here we go. Now the markers here, each marker is one place in Gwulo.com, so for each marker we've got a page about that place. You can click on the marker to find out the name of the place, and that's a link. So if I click that link I'll go to the page and I can see if we've got any photos or more notes about it, and I can add a comment or ask a question over there. Now these ones you can see are all on ridges, which makes sense. These were all the pillboxes in the new territories. You'd want to build them where they had a good vantage point. So this map works well with the pillboxes, but we've got a few other options as well, and they're up the top here. So the top map is the one with good detail of buildings and also the contours. The next one is from OpenStreetMap. It's a bit weaker on the buildings, doesn't have the contours, but it's very good at showing you paths and tracks. So if you wanted to go and walk out and find pillbox 215, pay it a visit, you could see from this map exactly which trails you could follow to get there. And sometimes it's good to see what's there today, what's the real view of the countryside. So we've also got a couple of satellite views, this one with labels or just the straightforward satellite images. The markers themselves, you can see, have got different colours. A green marker means it's there today. If you go there today, you'll be able to see it. Whereas a red marker, that's been demolished, so even you go there today, you're not going to find anything. And then in the middle we've got the orange marker, so that's a ruin. There's something there if you go and take a look, but probably just traces of the building. You also see quite a lot of them are blue, and those are ones that just haven't been recorded yet. What's their current status? So quickly recap, got a map of Hong Kong, different ways of looking at the map, or you can switch to a satellite view. We have over 3,000 places recorded, and they're represented by these markers, and you can click on a marker to visit their page. And we also have a selection of old maps that are overlaid. And for those ones, remember, we can use the little slider here to change their transparency. So there it is. Try it out. If you've got any questions or you run into any problems, you're welcome just to leave a comment below. Post a comment there and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.